This is SOL A.3. The student will express the square roots and cube roots of whole numbers and the square root of a monomial algebraic expression in simplest radical form. So this whole SOL is about simplifying radicals. Okay, written in simplest radical form, the square root of 48, a to the 16th, b to the 25th is equal to. Remember, the way we did this was to break down the number and then focus on the variables. So 48, 2 will go into that, you get 24. 2 will also go into that, you get 12. 3 goes in 4, 2 and 2. So then we have 2 pairs of 2. So 2 2's come out, 1 3 is left underneath. So the radical part needs to have the number part needs to have 4 times the square root of 3. So we know we're not looking at A and B. And the reason those aren't all the way simplified is because 12 is 3 times 4. 4 is a perfect square still hiding under there. Okay, now we have to decide about a to the 16th and b to the 25th. So remember, you're not taking the square root of the exponent. You have 16 a's under there. So that means 8 pairs. So 4a to the 8th and nothing left underneath. Now, b to the 25th, there's 1 b left over, then 24 more b's, so that makes 12 pairs of b's, and 1 left underneath. So it has to be D. Okay, what value can be placed under the radical symbol to make the statement true? Remember, this is kind of like going backwards. 5 times the cube root of 7 is already simplified for you, so they're asking what was the original expression. So think about it in the opposite way. If 5 is on the outside, that means there had to be 3 on the inside. Okay? So if we multiply, we get the cube root of 875. C. And again, one way to sort of check your answer would be to type into your calculator cube root of 875, see what it gives you, and then type in 5 times the cube root of 7, and it will give you the same decimal answer. Write the cube root of 135 in simplest radical form. So this time we're looking for sets of 3 because it is a cube root. So 135 divided by 5 goes in 27 times. 27 divided by 3, you get 9. And then we end up with 3 3's. So the cube root of 3 cubed is 3, and then the 5 has to stay underneath. Okay, so it has to be A. Now, again, type that in your calculator, type the original, and you'll get the same decimal. Okay, for one last example, remember this part is just telling us that we're not taking the square root of negative numbers, so don't worry about that. Again, let's figure out the number part, and then we'll worry about the variables. So 32 is divisible by 2, we get 16. Okay, so now you have to be very careful because those twos, and this one's left by itself. So 2 2's come out, 1's left underneath. So the number part should look like the 4 times the square root of 2. So can't be C. And then the square root of x squared is x. The square root of y, you have to leave y underneath. Square root of z cubed, remember, leave 1 z underneath, and then the square root of z squared is z. So it has to be B. A would not be all the way simplified because there's still a perfect square hiding under that square root. And that's it for this section.